From the hills of the east, a new voice rises. Hello, Meghalaya, our state's first ever OTT platform streaming stories, music, and dreams. Hello, Meghalaya. Your story starts here.
Menteri ketenat kam an ke jylla ka kong Ampareen lingdo kalapan pa yu ka jing sokhya halor ka jing jur ki kam thombor prosha ki kentei ha ka ne ka jylla haba kentho halor ka jing sha ot pedot ka we ka samla dang shen ha mai rang mat ka jing sha Batbor ka Khunruit hau Panah ka kong Ampareen kal ong ba ka don kam banwan ra ya ka jing kala ha ka im lang ka salang haba kre menta ka sngi shakila patha Khubor ka menteri kal ong ba ka don kam kinong shong shnong mat ki kin hun yam ban mi shakhamat ban tan rong lang ya ka jingkit ban ya khun prosha ya ka ne ka jing snew Katkum ka jingong ka menteri ka jingkat kli ka day ban zdang na du rumpai yeng Batbor chaka im lang ka salang ha ka baki nong ya lamru ki don ka benta ka baki mlaban kernga halor ka ne haba ka daw baka benta jong ki rumpai yeng ka long ka bakong san ban saindur ka kong Ampareen kal ong ba ka kamram bakong san ban yada na ki kamrunar ka day ban zdang na ka Longïing kamtam kito ki bajuja ha ki rumpai yeng Kalong ba habaw Panah u Batbor ka Khunruit kam day tang ka kam jong ka an henre ka day ka Jingpra ka Longïing ka longsam ka don kam ban pen klan bor ki Longïing iki kentei bat ki khena da ka bor jong ka jingtip shaphang ki hok jong ki kala a jing roy ka tanat pulit ka bala state ban shim khya ki kam thombor persha ki kentei henre tang ki pulit kim la bat ka don kam manya trailang ka shnong ka thau bat ka im lang ka salang Kalau ongru bakala day kapor badon kam manhikai ki kenthe banya dai la de but airo ke ikhtiar yaki bakin la ban krishan ya la de yaki jing don kam jongki
So you see, the very reason which motivated me to attend a funeral of a fellow woman's murder under the scrutiny of public eye in the middle of the day in a market is precisely that. We need to ensure that our systems are ready for this sudden surge. Why is this sudden surge happening? It's because thanks to the media, thanks to community knowledge, thanks to all of these factors which now are ready for the reporting of these crimes which at one point of time were likely broomed under the mat. Now what happens when, say for example, a stepfather rapes his stepdaughter continuously and now she is found to be pregnant? That is a horrifying situation, a traumatic situation for any woman, let alone a child. So yes, we are in touch with the Home Department. It is manned by a very capable individual. The Honorable DCM is a person with immense, he's a person with immense experience and knowledge. We have a very seasoned police leadership. The police department today is one of the best departments in the country. But we need to have a designated attention on this increase of the reporting of crimes against women. Now, is it only a government responsibility? I would beg to differ if you say it is only government which should be assigned with the responsibility of dealing with crimes against women. I think we also now need to reach out to the communities around us. What is going on in our community is a question we fundamentally have to ask ourselves. Now, how do we help women in distress? How do we help children who are undergoing this extreme atrocity and the feeling of wellness, the feeling of confidence of women in general is compromised to a large extent now that crimes are being reported. So yes, the police department, I am sure now being manned by a woman DGP, has a plan, has an action, and will be executing a very, very pivotal role. But I believe we need to look beyond. You are just putting a bandage on the problem and saying crimes against women is increasing. But what is the solution? Where is that solution? We have to reach out to community, we have to reach out to the church, we have to ensure that we are all health responsible. And this responsibility must begin with families. It should mature to community level interactions. It should be a big concern of church communications and church leadership. We have to sit and look at all of this, and I'm very happy that the Honorable Chief Minister himself and the Honorable Deputy CM, who is in charge of Home, himself, who is concerned, and we are looking into what is the best way forward. Today, in fact, as one of the conversations that occurred during a cabinet, Honorable CM again reinstated the importance of women police stations across the state. So we need to work hard. We are working hard, but I think it is alarming, and one cannot cover up this reality, and we need to start teaching women to protect themselves also. This has to happen at various levels, and I am hopeful that as the reporting systems improve, media becomes the whistleblower, we need to now meet at a certain stage, at a certain position, to make sure that these crimes are handled at the family level predominantly. So therefore, I may say, without singling out a certain incident, we need to empower families to discuss their problems and have solutions which will definitely protect the woman. You see, so marriage habits, what happens when a woman remarries, what is the kind of steps we need to take to ensure that the woman knows what she's getting into, that the children are aware of their rights. So all of this is very important, and without singling out any one incident, I must say that we are very fortunate to have a woman DGP, because the moment I shared with her that message of that woman outside the Ganesh Das saying that my husband is still scot-free, and I was very disturbed. But the very next morning by 6 a.m, he was apprehended. So we need to all work together, and women sometimes don't know their own rights. And I think that's one very big gap that we need to focus on. So it's not just a social workers problem. Even a woman getting out of her home, getting fed up and exhausted of constant harassment, attack, doesn't have the support in her family. Even sometimes we hear gossip that is being discussed and has become a narrative in the communities, that even if you go to the police station, likely their agendas are not taken seriously, because they say that this is a family thing. Today a husband and a wife may fight, but tomorrow they make up, they forgive and forget, and then they go on their lives. But still nobody is dealing with that problem. Why did that harassment or that atrocity happen in that bedroom or that kitchen? Is it because of anger management? So are we dealing with anger management? Do we have institutional redressal systems for anger management? So today, for example, there was a review and Cabinet was made aware of the various changes in the law of the CRPC and other components of law. And you have seen that today community based or driven anger management punishments are also now going to be made available in the system. So if a husband is found to be constantly attacking a woman, is separation the only resolution, or do we look at other things? So if a police station gets to know that this is a common occurrence in that particular case, should we have alternative methods of punishment and anger management, redressal systems. We do not have those redressal systems, unlike in modern and advanced communities where these are permanently ingrained. But we are getting there.